more specifically about the Health and Clinical Informatics major, which I direct that part of the program. This is more my area of expertise in informatics than bioinformatics and computational biomedicine. So the primary goal of the HCIN major is to educate future developers and managers of health and clinical information systems. So individuals come in with a variety of backgrounds and are given a strong technical grounding in biomedical informatics, health and medicine. So understanding the healthcare system. You don't need to be a healthcare practitioner, but understanding how the healthcare system works, data and computing sciences, and organizational management sciences, so that they may graduate and hopefully assume positions that require a thorough understanding of both information technology and the healthcare environment. So as I mentioned in the last half hour, each of the majors has domains, and within these domains are either required or individual competencies where you select individual courses from lists or electives. So there's the core domain of biomedical informatics. There's a domain of healthcare. If you're already a healthcare professional, there's a course about the practice of healthcare that you don't need to take. You have to substitute another course for that. We have another domain that we currently call computer science, but we're actually in the process of changing the name of that to data and computing sciences. Again, just recognizing the importance of data science. In health and clinical informatics, especially people who work in healthcare settings, organizational and management issues are really key, and that's a part of our curriculum as well. In addition, evaluation, learning how to be able to evaluate informatics projects, either from an operational standpoint or from a research standpoint. And then, depending on what program you're in, you do your capstone if you're in the master's non-thesis, thesis if you're in the master's with thesis, and advanced courses and dissertation if you're in the PhD program. So informatics is not a spectator sport. You will spend a fair amount of time in classes, but we really try to make things as hands-on as possible. And you can do that in two ways. One is to get involved in research projects of the faculty. Many students are important components of important contributors to research projects. And but another type of hands-on activity is being involved in operational activities. So working in a hospital clinical informatics department, state public health department, a number of our students have done that. Working with our clinical research informatics group at OHSU, supporting the informatics needs of researchers. So there's a variety of possibilities. You can pursue this as a practicum in the master's program or an internship in the master's non-thesis program. And actually, even PhD students can do an internship if they're interested. And of course, the work that you do when you do these hands-on projects may lead to capstone thesis or dissertation. I mentioned in the last hour that there's been a lot of work done in the last few years, trying to better characterize the work of people who work in informatics professionally. And one of the major changes in the field has just been this growth of this domain of data governance and analytics. But these are the domains of work that you need to have competence in. So you obviously need foundational knowledge about informatics, computing, healthcare, and so forth. And there's two of these because the one on the bottom was actually done originally for the physicians in the clinical informatics subspecialty. The one above it focuses on health informatics more broadly. these were done as two separate analyses and almost ended up with the exact same results. You see the names of the domains are a little different. Um, so, um, so what do people who work in informatics do? They need that foundational knowledge. They have to understand health and healthcare, including decision-making processes and outcomes. They need to understand information systems, whether they're in the healthcare enterprise or other kinds of information systems. They need to understand data, which I've already said. And it's important for those who work in informatics to have leadership skills, professionalism skills, being able to guide organizations as they transform with technology. So this is a nice picture. These articles are available, freely available online from the website of the American Medical Informatics Association. It gives you a real clear picture of, if you end up working in informatics, what you would be doing, either from a research perspective or an operational perspective, but focusing on these kinds of areas. So this word data science has become a big thing, and we believe that data science is part of informatics, highly overlapping with informatics, maybe even part of informatics. But there's a nice paper that a colleague, Philip Payne, wrote, and this cycle of informatics and data science. So basically, if you look at the upper part of the figure, there are things that go on in the world: biological things, social things, technological things. And we observe those processes, sometimes called afferent processes, where we go from the world to knowledge or representations of knowledge. And that's a critical part of data science, that measuring, instrumenting, observing what happens in the world. And that by studying the world, we gain knowledge that we can use to improve health and healthcare. Informatics does more in that we take that knowledge, we apply it back to the world. We apply it in the development of electronic health records, in research information systems, in mobile devices. We look at the impact that knowledge and technology have on people in the world. And this is a critical part of informatics, that for programs that just focus on data science don't always focus on these other important things. And there's other skills. So you see the core skills at the bottom for data science: algorithms, machine learning, statistics, databases. The core skills for informatics, and actually the core skills for data science are also skills for informatics. But informatics, in addition, skills in evaluation, in this notion of implementation science. How do we best implement healthcare and healthcare processes? Organizational theory, human computer interaction. So you can have all the great data in the world, but if people can't use the systems to get access to the knowledge that was generated from that data, it's a missed opportunity. And workflow. Any of you who work in healthcare settings know that the workflow of healthcare is very complicated. So there are plenty of high-paying jobs in health and clinical informatics. These numbers are a few years old, but you see that people who work for different types of organizations, consulting companies, software companies, academic, government, healthcare systems, doing different kinds of jobs. And then you see some of the different jobs that people do: project management, IT management, informatics, proper implementation consultant, and clinical applications. These are average salaries from a website. Unfortunately, they don't publish these numbers anymore, but I thought it was good when they did. But in any case, these numbers are actually higher for certain groups. So clearly, there's huge demand for people with skills in data analytics. Physicians make more doing informatics than other parts of the field. They're oftentimes in leadership roles. They draw on their medical training. And then the high-end leadership, not only CMIOs, but chief information officers, CIOs, chief technology officers, et cetera, make higher salaries. So this is just a repeat of our online and a repeat of my contact information. I'm going to stop sharing and go back, and I will be happy to answer any questions. You can either, it looks like there's nothing that's been added since I started. There's also some other faculty and staff here who can potentially answer those questions. So you can either type into the chat box, or feel free if you want to unmute, and I'd be happy to answer any questions or refer them to the others who are here. Well, if there are no further questions, we can adjourn. And I guess, oh wait, here we go. What are the specific benefits of the program for students who are already working in a full-time informatics role? That's a great question. There are lots of people who work in informatics roles who have no formal training in informatics. They play very important roles. Informatics, is a field that has not been around a tremendously long time. So there are naturally people working in the field who are not formally trained. We have had a number of over the years students who are already working in informatics, and it's enabled them to advance their skills. Sometimes people feel limited because a lot of the what's happening in informatics, they don't have formal training in. They'd like to be able to spend more time learning more about these specific things, learning more about data science, data standards, other areas that we've covered. So that would be the benefits for those who are already in informatics roles. There's also benefits in some organizations. You earn a higher salary if you have a master's degree, those sorts of things as well. But clearly, if you know everything about informatics, then it may not be that good a use of your time. But if there are areas where you can grow, we try to tailor the curriculum in a way that you can be sure to get the skills in the areas where you're less skilled, so you can move forward. Well, I see Lauren is here. They restart at 1:30 or whenever people, I guess, come back from BCB. Is that correct? You're unmuted, but we can't hear you. Okay. So if you could just type in, yeah, okay. Oh, great. Okay. So yeah, so I'm gonna mute myself, and then we'll restart at 1:30 or whenever the bulk of the BCB people attending the BCB students get back. And yes, take a 10-minute break, and Lauren will also fix her audio. So thank you all.